Today, I would like not to speak as a Secretary General of a group, but mainly as somebody, or as somebody who is really also by profession as an urban planner, very, very worried and very careful on what's going on at the level of our planet, but also at the level of the European Union, on the protection from the landscape, but also on the protection of the biodiversity and of our environment. And I would like to say that even if I'm not talking as a Secretary General of a group, today more than ever, the green agenda is on the top of the public sphere. And we see it from the natural disasters. We are seeing it about the climate urgencies and emergency. We see the attention these days also on the Glasgow Conference of the United Nations, but also on the mobilization of the people in the streets, because they want to have a better environment, protected biodiversity, but also a more equal way of sharing the quality of life, the quality of the environment, and not only, let's say, living in a planet which suffers, and this we see it in everyday life. At the same moment, it is also clear that it is this agenda, it is not only in the top of the citizens' worries, but also it is in the top of the European Commission. And when we are talking about the Green Deal that the European Commission has presented with von der Leyen at the beginning of this term of the European Parliament and the European Commission, we are talking about a lot of consequences in the landscapes, in our urban, regional, national, regional, rural, urban dimension. And I must say that more and more, all these policies, they have a direct effect on what you as organization, as universities, networks, and as experts, you would like to do when it comes to the landscapes, which is not, of course, only the rural areas, but it is really the environment we have around us. And the European Commission indeed put in the attention the green, so with the Green Deal, with the climate law. I'm not there to tell you how happy we were or not, with a lot of proposals that they will come currently with the Fit for 55. They will be a package, which they will be 14 new legislatures, which they will have a direct effect on our daily life in also the urban or rural dimension. And they are practically pushing this agenda with, of course, quite different political evaluations from the different political actors in the European institutions. Some of the political groups, they find it that it's too late and too little. Some others, they believe that we are going to the right direction. But beyond the policies, you have also the greening, let's say, of the existing policies or new policies. And the greening meaning the questions that I think we raised some time ago. What does it mean, greening the Resilience and Recovery Fund, which is this extremely big financial instrument from more than 6,702 million of euros. So we are talking about really billions on loans and on grants that the member states, they will get in order to make a more resilient society in our days after the COVID-19 crisis, which, to be honest, we are not completely yet over. And this very, very important financial instrument, we try really to make it greener with some targeted budgetary lines means in order to protect the climate and in order to fight the climate change, which is around the 37% of this huge amount. But of course, the question is the rest of the budget, which is the 63% of this huge amount, as I explained before. Are we sure that it will go to the right direction? Yes or no? And therefore, this is the operation of the greening our policies. It is a big one, and I don't want to talk about other instruments like the state aids, of where the European Commission has an extremely important role, and we really don't know if the indications and the impact assessment when it comes to the protection of landscapes, biodiversity, protection of the environment, it is really going to the right direction, or other issues like the social taxation of the policies in order to reduce inequalities, or the big issue when it comes to the energy, because everybody today talks about energy poverty, about the raising of the prices of the energy. And again, the energy choices, they are very, very much linked to the protection for the environment, the protection of the natural resources, the protection of the landscapes, the protection of the rural areas, and everything you know very well on what you are really trying to do. And my last comment after the green and the greening is the question of the greenwashing, which of course I invite you to follow very, very carefully, because if you would like to promote your declaration and create the right networks, you really, as with your expertise, help also the politicians, but also the European Commission, and influence the processes on the risk of greenwashing. And when I'm talking about greenwashing, I would like only to give you one example, which is very close also to what you try to do, is the common agriculture policy, which is a huge part of the EU budget. And I'm really sorry to say so, it has been adopted, voted in the European Parliament, and the lobbies, they really manage from the big agro industries to continue business as usual, with a lot of effects on the balances we need to find between rural areas, urban areas, biodiversity, and local production, and everything that is needed in order to create a different model of development. So with this introduction, I would like only to tell you that I am very, very happy to work with you whatever I can do in order to create the right links, and that the agenda of the European Union of today, it is more and more calling your expertise in order to convince the different bodies, from the local to the regional to the national level to the European level, that an urban and regional sustainable way of living will create the necessary conditions for a better world, for a healthier world, for less pollutions, for a better energy, for fighting inequalities, and for the future generations, a real hope for change. Thank you very, very much.